Hello Aries, thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. Excuse me. For the support of Oracle cards, Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Okay, we're going to do relationship first, single second. Oracle cards come out where needed. Let's see what we got for y'all. Well, your partner has the Lover's card, so that's good. The Two of Cups is at the bottom. So there's a lot of love here. There is a lot of love here is what I'm getting. And that, I have a feeling that might be the big thing with this. Because you might be unhappy with something. So you have a lot of good cards. A lot of good cards, but something is bothering you. You're not happy about something. This is Aries. Aries, yes. Your partner's not, like, you're working on something. You are working on something. You got the Three of Pentacles here. There's something you're working on, and I feel like your partner's not connecting with it. They're not, either they're not paying attention or they're just not getting it. You're working on something, you're trying to make something happen. It's not like they don't believe in you, but it may feel like that because they're not connecting with it at all. At all is what I'm getting with the Fool card. Like they're off doing other things. But you're trying to get something to work out here. And ironically, I'm also seeing them with the Lover's card for you. Like they're in love with you. In love with you. And they have other ideas about what they want to do. The thing is, I feel like you've been working on something, trying to make something happen. And they've been going off in their own direction. And I feel like what's happening here, because there's some type of disagreement coming up, is they're winning out for some reason. They're making something happen. They're getting what they want. They got the Nine of Cups with the happy family. They're going towards something else. You're working on something, but they already have their eyes on stuff. It's almost like if you were planning, for example, a family vacation, and you're like, oh, I'd like to go here, I'd like to go there, and you're researching what you want to do. Meanwhile, they booked the flight and the time off and the hotel, and they have everything already set. They got the itinerary together. They got everything purchased. And then you're realizing this, and they're just kind of like, well, all right, don't forget, we're going to go, you know, we're going to have to leave at this time on this date, don't forget. And you're just kind of like, what? Like, I thought we were still working this out. I worked it out. I bought everything, bought the plane tickets, I got the hotel booked, everything's set. Just make sure you're available, make sure you get the time off. And you're just, I feel like you're kind of a little dumbfounded, just like, okay, I thought we were still working this out, but okay. I actually see you letting it go with the Six of Swords, just kind of like, but you got the broken heart here too, kind of like, I wanted to do all these other things, but apparently all these decisions were already made for me to the point where everything is already done. So I guess there's nothing else to negotiate, so I just feel like you're kind of like, you know what, whatever. It's not worth messing with it. And just kind of letting it go, moving on from it, but still unhappy. That broken heart saying, you're unhappy about this. This is not cool. I see them, like, they come forward very strong, but I feel like even if you stand up and say, hey, this isn't what I wanted to have some time, or I wanted to do some other things, I feel them coming back at you very strongly, like the plans are already set. Everything is already done. There's nothing left to do. There's no negotiation left. We're not going to lose the money because I already spent the money. Done. And I just feel, again, you with the Page of Swords, kind of like, it's not worth the argument, it's not worth the fight. And I've noticed, and I will say this because my moon is Aries. Sometimes Aries will back down, not because they can't hold their own, but because they don't want to, like, sometimes Aries comes forward and they'll obliterate people, and they don't want to. So sometimes they'll literally back off just because they don't want to destroy somebody. Because sometimes it's a pass-fail situation, and if they decide they're going to fight, they fight for all they're worth, and they'll destroy the situation. and especially in Aries that knows themselves well, I'm getting, and you can comment below and let me know what you think. Sometimes they'll just back off because it's just like, I'm either going to be, if I go for this, I'm going to win. I'm not going to go halfway. If I'm going to try to win this, I'm going full force and I'm going to get what I want. And in this situation, I just feel like that's not going to work. Because I could technically win, but still lose because it's going to make a mess of this relationship. So I feel like you're backing down, but that's probably why, because you're like, I could win, but not really. Because if I go full force, I'll technically win the situation, but there's going to be a lot of cleanup. Like, it's going to be a messy battle, and it's not worth it. So I feel you kind of letting this happen. So what's going on from here is, like, I see you trying to, like, accept where this is going. So, like, if it was a vacation and say you wanted to go, I don't know, you wanted to go to Vegas just for argument's sake, and you're going to end up going to the Bahamas instead. You're like, all right, so we're not going to Vegas, we're going to the Bahamas. All right, then, fine. What do I like at the Bahamas? You start researching the Bahamas and things you can do in the Bahamas and things that would be fun for you in the Bahamas. You're like, all right, it takes you a minute, but you're like, you know what, whatever. Can't do that, it's too late now. But this is where we are going. So now I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to find some things I like there, and I'm going to enjoy that. And I feel you with the King of Pentacles with the Sun card is saying, all right, fine. I couldn't get where I wanted to go, but you know what? Now that things have changed, I'm going to get some good stuff here. I'm going to make this work out. This is where we have to go. It's going to work to my advantage. I'm going to make this work, and I'm going to have a good time. Something is pulling forward here, because I feel your partner seems to, like, they want to control the whole thing. But I'm also seeing with the Lover's card, like, they're giving into you. They have a whole thing in their head, like they have this whole thing planned out. Whatever they want to do, it's like they have the whole thing planned out. They got whatever they went forward and already done. You're like, all right, fine, we're doing that. But they're like, whatever's left over is mine. I'm finishing this off. I'm gonna have some control here. I'm gonna decide some of this stuff, and we're gonna do things I want to do. And I'm getting the Four of Cups was like they don't want to give up that control, but they have to. Like, they got enough of their way. The balance is, like, they may have chose the destination, but the balancing out of this is you get to decide what you do when you get to the destination. And that's, I feel like that's, you're not really fighting for it, but you're saying that's mine and that's fair because you chose that. You did all this. The rest of it's mine. I'm choosing the rest of it. I don't see them really bucking you against that. Hopefully, they do have that Nine of Wands here, but they're going to try. But I don't feel like that's really going to happen. I feel like that you're going to get what you want. And I feel like they can't really argue that because they got the majority of what they wanted, and now the rest, you're claiming the rest. Like, the rest is mine. Don't be planning anything else because the rest is mine. You got your way and where we're going, but I need to get my way on what we're going to do when we get there. That's the fair balance. You got your half. Now this is my half. That's karma. Your partner's getting the karma on this. Like, that's. They went ahead and decided what they wanted to. They didn't do it maliciously, but what I'm getting is, like, this is the balance. This is the karma of it. You get to decide what to do when you get there. And I feel like you're kind of like, all right, I have lots of ideas. I know what I like. And I feel like the Six of Cups is saying, you know what? This is my balance. I want this. Like, it's almost like you're demanding that this will be something you get to choose, and you're actively doing it. You're like, no, this is mine, and I'm not letting it go. It's kind of like, you know, it reminds me of my older brother. Like, it's just the principle of the situation. It's the principle of the thing. I'm owed this. This is my half. I'm keeping it. And it doesn't matter if I want it or not. It's mine, and I'm keeping it. That's kind of the feel I'm getting there. You have a lot of ideas, and that's a great thing. I feel like this is great how this works out, quite frankly. Because what you're planning is fun for everybody. You're not looking to take advantage of anybody, but you got the Two of Cups here. There's a lot of love here. The danger of this situation is, like, to realize your partner came at this with love. They weren't trying to pull one over on you. It really was not their intention. That's how it's coming through anyway, that wasn't their intention. But if you're angry about it and you feel like, you know, if you're angry that you get to choose the destination, or they didn't work with you in choosing the destination, for example, they just went ahead and did it, and you're really kind of ticked off about it still. Just be careful to like work that out without having a get even type feel with that, because it could happen. Just be careful, because this could be a really good situation. And you do have a threat of the Three of Swords. It popped out for a second. Like, you have a threat. You have a threat of the Three of Swords. If this becomes a bitter battle for some reason, like, you took away my power and now I'm going to make you pay for it. Some of you are in danger of that. Not everybody, so take that with a grain of salt. For those it fits for, you'll know who you are. So it's fine. Just be careful, because this could be a great situation. Whatever this is, it could be a lot of fun. Just don't turn it into a battle of now I'm getting even. That's not for everybody. That seems to be like the threat of that Three of Swords is saying for some of you, I feel like you know who you are. So if it hits for you, you know it hits for you. If it doesn't sound right to you, let it go. They're just saying, for those it does hit for, don't make it a bitter battle. Enjoy it. Enjoy this moment. Don't make karma a continuous cycle. Kind of like they did something wrong, and now you do something wrong to make right, to get even, and then that comes back, and it keeps going back and forth. If you're constantly going back and forth, kind of giving it to each other, it's just going to get worse and worse. So you don't want to create that. That's for a very select few of you, I know, but for those of you it hits forward, just so you know. I think we're good there. All right, so that's how that's ending. It's ending well. For those of you, for most of you, I just feel like you're balancing it out. You're getting the control at the end. Well, for all of you, you're getting the control at the end. It's just like what you do with it. That's all. It's just what you do with it. All right, what do we have for Aries single? What do we have for single Aries? What do we have for single Aries? Messages for single Aries. What do we have for single Aries? Messages for single Aries. My nose is filling up all of a sudden. That's great. I have candles. You can't see them, but there's 2 candles lit. I think I might be having a reaction to this one. I think I might be. Of course, I like it. That figures. Oh, wow. Aries. Single Aries. What do you got going on here, Aries? For a love read, there's one card here that is not really a bad card, but I don't really care for it in a love read, and I'll show it to you in a moment. But I'm seeing this one card. It's not a bad card, don't get me wrong, but for a love reading, I don't usually like it. We'll see how it goes. That's it. That's it. Okay. So I'll actually go right to it here. It's the Knight of Wands. I don't like the Knight of Wands in a love reading. I do like it usually. The reason I don't like it in a love reading is usually it's kind of like in out. It's like today, here today, gone tomorrow. One of those things. So if you're looking for love, that's not helping you. And I'm feeling this right off the bat. Like something's coming in and it's not staying. There's a Four of Swords in the past here, and I feel like this person coming towards you, like I feel them kind of skulking around a little skulking around. They seem to have their eye on you, whoever this is. And the here today, gone tomorrow feel, I don't see that as their intention, just to be fair. I don't see that as their intention, but I do see that that's what's coming forward. Because they seem to be skulking around. They seem to be a little bit just not really sure anything can come of it. But very drawn to you. And what I see happening here is that like they're trying to come forward to you, but they know they're not ready. That's the thing with this Eight of Pentacles. Is it eight? No, it's a Seven of Pentacles, excuse me. They know they're not ready. That's the problem. And what I'm getting here is that they come toward you. They do. But the Page of Pentacles with the Knight of Wands, like, right off the bat, you know this isn't ready. This is like the pages are like they're adolescent. No, that's over here. They're like adolescents, like 12, 13-year-old, 12 to 14. That's kind of how I view them. That's how I view them in this deck anyway, just to be fair. It's like that's not somebody who can like live life successfully on their own. They're not quite ready. They're doing well. They show promise. You know what I mean? They could probably do a lot, but like a 12 to 14-year-old, at least where I am, you can't drive a car. But you know what I mean? It's not usual for a person of that age to be able to take care of themselves solely. You know what I mean? Foot the bill and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they're not quite there. And they know they're not quite there. And you know it too when they come towards you. And I feel like that's why you're getting the Knight here. This is coming in quickly. But I feel like it's not ready. It's like a half-baked situation. Comes in quickly. There could be some sparks going on here. They know they're not ready. That's the thing. And I'm getting the Nine of Swords. Right off the bat, it's like the Nine of Swords. Like, oh, I shouldn't be a part of this. I know they're not ready. I know this isn't a good idea. And I feel like the adjacent possibilities are kind of like you're trying to like, and they might even be trying to sell you this too, trying to find a way to like, well, you know, we can make the best of it for now, and then later when possibilities are better, you know, we can improve on this later. That's the adjacent possibilities, kind of like it's not quite ready now, it's true, but maybe, you know, we can enjoy what we can now, just live it for what it is now, just enjoy it for what it is for right now, and then later maybe. But I feel like that Nine of Swords is you saying, I don't think this is a good idea, and you're like, I know better, I know better, I know better, I know better, and I feel like you're kind of like smacking yourself in the head, like, I know better, I know better, I know better. And the next thing coming forward is the Tower card, the Door to Spirit, the Three of Swords. I feel like this, there's another card here I'm going to show you in a second to even reinforce that even farther, but here today, gone tomorrow. They weren't ready, and they left. They're gone. I'm getting that Door to Spirit with the Tower, like basically they moved on. They moved on completely, but I feel like the Tower card is saying, it's almost like they're hanging out, you're seeing them every now and then, you know they can't completely commit to you for whatever reason. And then one day you call them and the phone is like the number's disconnected. You go to where they live and the place is vacant. They've moved on. You check where they used to work. Literally, that's where they used to work because they left. They quit the job. You're like, literally, they're gone. They're gone. The Tower of the Shock is saying literally completely gone. There's nothing. There's nothing left. You can't do anything with this anymore. Done. And I feel like that's the shock. Like, you can't call them, you can't go see them, you don't know where they are, you have no idea how to find them. Like, I feel like that's the Tower. Like, they're so gone, like, there's no more gone. They're just gone. Completely gone. Bye. And you're just kind of like, that's the shock to it. Like, it just happens like that. Like, almost like the last night, you were hanging out with them, having dinner. The next day, their phone is off, their home is vacant, they no longer work at the place. You're just like, what happened? Like, did they existed, right? Because I remember having dinner with them last night. What happened? Gone. Gone. In the I got a weird thing there. I'll share it in a second. The world is in this in the environment with the, is that the crown chakra? I believe it is. The crown chakra with the world is saying this next phase is unavoidable. And this is something that needs to happen for this person. This is what this person needs to do next. There's no way around it. The weird thing I got there, which I saw somebody go into prison really quick. It was like a quick flash. Somebody went right to prison. And it was just like, if somebody disappears and you're not expecting it and you just don't know where they went, somebody went to prison is what I'm getting. So I don't know who that's for. It just flashed in quick and it was gone. So, but they're telling me it's unavoidable. With that crown chakra, this is completely unavoidable. Not that you would think the world card was avoidable anyway. But it's almost kind of like this is what they need to do. This is a good thing. So if that person, for example, is going to prison, they need to. Sorry. I don't know what to say. Like, it was a flash. It came in quick. And then it was gone. The thing is, this leaves a void in your heart. This person, I feel like this person literally is gone. Gone. Like, you can't do anything about it. And I'm getting afterwards, your thoughts are the Two of Pentacles. Like, you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to find a way to get some answers, get some resolution, get some closure at the very least. You got the Magician. Like, you're doing everything in your power to try to find what happened or figure out what's going on. The trick is with the Magician, and this is how I read the Magician. The Magician has power over what's in front of him or her, them, whatever. So whatever's on the table, like, they don't just create something out of thin air. That's not the way I read the Magician anyway. But like, if you're trying to bake and you have flour and eggs and sugar, there's whatever you can make from that. The Magician has the ability and the knowledge to create the best thing from that. And maybe there's a couple other things in the environment they can pull in. But for example, if you have flour, sugar, and butter, and you want to create a canary, a singing canary, like, you could try to lure one over. But if you're up where I am in the north, good luck. Like, you can't just make something happen out of nothing. That's the thing. I'm not saying it's completely impossible, but that's the thing. You can only work with what you have. And for example, yeah, I'll give you that analogy with the canary. Maybe you could put out something sweet and nice to try to attract a canary, but if I'm up here in the north, there's snow out there. I think a canary would die before it got 5 blocks from my house. I'm just saying. So you know what I'm saying? This is a card, the way I read it, like, doing the best with what you have. So you're doing everything, you're pulling everything out of your sleeve, out of the pocket, out of your sleeve, whatever you want to say. And you've got the thinking man and the attachment. You're trying to figure it out. I feel like you're left with this void. You're trying to figure it out. The attachment is saying you might become a little obsessed with it. Trying to figure out what happened. Just trying to get some closure. Where did they go? Why did they ditch me? Why did this happen? What I'm getting from this reading is, like, there's no answer. Like, you're not going to get any resolution. I'm getting the best, if this happens to you, just to try to do your best to accept it and let it go and just drop it. I feel like that's really hard to do, but they're saying it's done. Done is done. There's nothing for you to find. I don't feel like there's anything left for you to find. The Magician is saying you're trying, but I personally feel like the Magician is subject to what he has in front of him, or they have in front of him. He, she, they. I don't feel like the Magician is gender specific, but you know. And that's it. Alright, I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.